Nintendo is great at making unique and appealing designs for the Pokémon franchise, but sometimes beta designs for Pokémon that didn't make it into the game are better than the ones that did. The typing combos Nintendo wanted to go with add a level of interest for this, as it shows how bold they wanted to be but ultimately toned it back for balance. These beta designs hold another use in that many were used as inspiration for Pokémon down the line. The hardest part about finding beta Pokémon is that Game Freak usually likes to keep its work to itself, so most of the leaks are descriptions of Pokémon with no official art to go with it. However, a beta leak of unused designs from Pokémon Gold and Silver did manage to get out, which provides fans with the best examples of beta Pokémon. Even for a game being designed over 2 decades ago, for some of their designs to return and make an impact is remarkable. This cut content from the popular second-generation games, unofficially chronicled on the Pokémon Fandom Wiki, included a lot of Pokémon that either never made a game or inspired others down the line. To start, many more baby Pokémon were supposed to be added to the game: Doduo, Vulpix, Arcanine, Grimer, Paris, and more. Though it was probably a good thing Game Freak did not carry on with those, as it would feel a little out of place, and the baby Pokémon that Gen 2 did have fit their roles better. Another interesting line to note is the original Water Starter line, often Pokémon's best starter type, was going to be an early design for the Popplio line, but those designs were shelved and replaced with the Totodile line. Finally, a handful of evolution lines were completely scrapped and have not seen little usage since. A Fire Bear Pokémon line works as starter or non-starter. This Fire Bear trio was originally going to be the Fire Starter of Gen 2 before being replaced by the Typhlosion line. Named from left to right, fans could have had Flamebear, Bullbear, and then Hanaguma, as perfect English translations are hard to get. These are the best the community has found. Now it is only arguable if this line should have stayed over the Typhlosion line, but certainly, some form of it should have made a reappearance. Teddiursa and Ursaring, who recently got the Ursaluna evolution in Pokémon Legends Arceus, did make their first appearance in Gen 2, but outside the bear theme, there is little resemblance between the two lines. Even looking through Fire Pokémon results in no resemblance back to this beta design. An evolution line like this should have surely been used by now, whether it was kept the same or perhaps given a new typing to help it keep up with stronger Pokémon. The 4th generation would have been a perfect spot to include it, as that generation is notoriously known for its lack of fire types, letting Nintendo bolster the generation and get usage out of an old design. Pokémon could have had 2 interesting Water, Steel types. Generation 4's Empoleon is currently the only Water, Steel Pokémon in the franchise, but it could have been the 3rd if these designs had played out. Starting as the little fish Sunmola, it would evolve into the shark Pokémon Ankergay and then into the eel-like Grotus. As both evolutions were Water-Steel, an underused and often missing Pokémon type combo, they would have been an interesting combo to explore early in the franchise and would have carried on with good viability considering Empoleon is the only other of that dual type. The Sunmola line would have simply been a cool trio to have and give players more split evolution Pokémon to mess around with. Though disappointing that none of these Pokémon made it into the final game, it is believed that Ankergay helped inspire Sharpedo and Grotus inspired Huntail. Pokémon Gen 2 almost gave Farfetch a evolution long before the Galarian evolution in Sword and Shield. Sirfetch, Farfetch almost had an evolution in the beta Pokémon known as Madam. Not much is known about this Pokémon besides that its typing was to be the same as Farfetch, and while this might not have helped it out too much, the stat bonus would have made it more useful than Farfetch. This helps solve the problem no evolution Pokémon have where their stats just can't compare to most Pokémon who do evolve. Though Madam was never seen in any Pokémon game, it is speculated that its design may have helped inspire Sirfetch'd. Generation 2 had plans for a fire-water-type Bomoshika. The only known name for this Pokémon would have given fans a water-fire type long before the only other current one, the mythical Volcanion. For clarification, there is a difference between mythical and legendary Pokémon. The design alone is very appealing, and giving it a typing that would not be seen again for over a decade would have given Bomoshika good popularity. The weakness here is that since it does not evolve, its stats would end up making it tricky to use from a competitive aspect. Fire-water is also not a typing that is necessarily broken, as it still has a good few counters, but it is more the fact two polar opposite typing are getting put together that makes Bomoshika so appealing. Bomoshika would certainly be the one beta Pokémon that fans would celebrate if Game Freak added it back into the series. The harsh reality for the majority of beta Pokémon is that they will most likely never get their time to shine in the series. The best they could hope for is being an inspiration for other Pokémon down the line, akin to how real-world history has inspired some Pokémon. Hope cannot be thrown out entirely, as some designs like Leafeon and Tangrowth were pulled from this beta, albeit with some design changes. However, the final decision will always be in the hands of Game Freak, and its plans for the Pokémon franchise are often hard to predict. Source: Pokémon Fandom Wiki.
With a gentle touch you tell me what all love I have to share. It must be 'cause you are what I all knew. Only you do know, you do know, you do know. Only you do know the qualities. Still moving, still sad, thought to move what went wrong. Have sat there low out of flow in one if you could bring them down if